Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We will quickly start with introducing ourselves. So my name is Emmanuel Herpels. I think most of you know me. I'm your relationship manager at Connective. And today I am joined by Maarten Wijn, who will assist you in the more technical questions.
Hello, I am the QA lead at Connective, and as Emmanuel said, I will be answering some questions you guys have after we do the presentation.
Yes, okay, perfect. So we will go on to we have a small introduction, of course, because this is the first webinar of 2020. We want to take the time to reflect on the previous year. Of course, you were all part of that, and we're really happy with everything that we accomplished together with you. So here's a small overview of everything that happened in 2019. As you see, we opened a new office. We are planning to open another one. We expanded our great team, and we are hoping that we will continue working together in a great way for the coming years, of course. So before starting this webinar, we want to give you some practicalities. Just to inform you, this is only a half an hour, the webinar, so we will explain some new functionalities and a demo. We will also have time for questions, but if more time is needed, of course, you can always contact us afterwards. You're all muted at this moment, just for us, so it's easier for us to complete the webinar. But of course, at the end, there's time for questions, so please take notes so we can help you afterwards. You will also receive the presentation of the slides. We are recording this webinar, so you will have a full recording of the whole video. And of course, the answers answered by us and given by all the participants. And again, if you have any more questions, do not hesitate to chat or to email us afterwards. So why are we holding this webinar? Of course, we want to start a good tradition, start 2020 positively. So it's very important for us that with every release, you get a clear understanding of all the new features, because maybe sometimes it's not always convenient to you how the new functionalities work. We want to give you an overview of the new features, and assist you by giving a small demo or of one or two, depending on the release. And of course, we also give you a small sneak peek of the upcoming features for the coming releases.
So what's new in eSignature 5.5? We've added the option to add approvers. So you can upload a package or a document to the portal. Normally you could only add receivers or signers. Now there's the option to add approvers. Approvers can, as the name says, approve a document before the signers are going to sign the document. We also added reassign functionality, which only exists in what you see, what you sign. So for example, if you are an approver or you got a document in your mailbox to be approved or to sign, and you're not sure if you are able to sign it, or you're not sure if you should be the one signing or approving it, you can reassign it to somebody else who you can choose. We've added the option to disable one-time URL. Although this is not by default, as Connective chooses security by default, and we, of course, want to give you the ability to disable it. If you want to disable it, there's a few legal things you have to complete first before being able to disable it. So the details can be found in our documentation, or of course you can contact one of us for more information. We have also added new languages, a few new languages. We also made the languages configurable, which actually means you can now say, I only want to see French and English, for example, in the portal. You can disable all other languages which are not needed for you or your clients, so they aren't visible while you won't use them anyway. I would say let's move to the next slide. We have a demo here. We did a preparation of this demo. We'll quickly go through it and show you what the functionalities are in the web portal. Afterwards, we'll show you a slide on how to do this in the API. But as most of you guys will be using the portal, we will mainly focus in the demo on the portal. So let's go.
Yeah, so it's also clear in the portal. So we will demo the functionalities for approvers and to reassign to another signer or approver. So very easily, we made a quick video, so it's also easy for you to review this. So as always, you start with uploading a document. So you just quickly select the file, you open it, and you go to the next step. Then as you always know, you have the possibility to change the name of the package. So this means when you only have uploaded multiple documents, in this case there's only one, but you can still name the package. You can change the language, add it to a certain document group, which is linked to a certain team, but we will just keep that as in default. You can add a legal notice, but this is not the purpose of the demo, so we will just leave that and change the name of the documents. You can always add documents, but that's not necessary in this case. So we'll just go to the following step. So in the new step, you will start to place the signing fields. So you completely scroll down to the documents. You select signing field and select it where you want to place it. Then the person who will sign and choose the signing methods. Of course, there are other ones that you can always add, but for this demo, it's not necessary. Again, you will be asked if you want to change the name, the document group, and the team. But most important, we want to add an approver. So the one who will approve the documents to be signed. In this case, Pauline Peters. You can add several people to approve, but we will just add one. So they can always approve parallel, sequentially, and or in complex, the same for signers. Do you want to add a receiver at this moment? Not. So you can always add an expiry date. As always, if there's an expiry date on the offer, you can also enable or disable to download an unsigned document, which was already available in the previous versions, but we want to show it again. And you can allow to reassign to other signers or approvers. Do you want to change the email? As you know, it's always possible. So then we just go to the next step and confirm. Here you will see when we open it, it's sent out by me, door Emmanuel Herpels. Pauline Peters will have to approve it, and Emmanuel Herpels, me again, will have to sign it. You can see the actions are still not being done. So now we go to the inbox of Pauline Peters. She will receive an email with the invitation to approve the documents. So she just simply clicks on the link, gets opened in the Visivis, and here you can see the different steps as always. First of all, you can see the different documents that are uploaded. There's simply just one. She gets the possibility to download the document or reassign it to someone else to approve it. Then she simply scrolls down. She will see someone else needs to sign, which is me in this case. And here she simply declares that she approves the documents. You can see this package has been approved. So now, next step, of course, you first see, okay, it's approved by Pauline Peters. So next step is that I will have to sign. So I get the invitation after Pauline approving this package. I click on the link, as always, gets into the Visibis. Again, you have those different steps to download, to reassign. And you see I have to sign here. Normally I would click and start signing, but that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reassign it to Maarten because I'm not responsible for signing these documents. So I simply just enter the email address of Maarten. I can still select a language in which email he has to receive, then his name and reason for reassignment. We'll just say here that it's for purpose of demo, but you can also say, I prefer that you sign this because I'm on holiday, or I don't have the authority to sign these documents, and you can simply click on reassign. Underneath, you will see now in the package that I have reassigned this to someone else. So you go again in the overview in the portal, and here nothing changes yet, but you will see this in the next step. So now he gets the invitation to sign the documents. So he simply clicks on the link, and you can see the reason why this was reassigned is for demo, but of course you can see any type of reason. So now he receives the exact same documents and he can simply just start signing. Of course, you can still reassign to someone else. It's still possible if he would not be the correct person. He places his signature and the signatures are simply added to the documents. And you can close this window at any time. So even if the signature is not fully placed, so that's really easy. And now you can see in the overview that it is Maarten who signed the documents instead of me. You can see in what time, which methods. You can see that Pauline approved it. So now you have a clear overview. There's no overview that it was reassigned. Voilà. Yeah.
So everything we just saw was in the portal, in the web portal. So it's for the portal users. As we said, we'd quickly show how it's done in via API for possibly integrations for clients who use eSignatures in their solution. The only thing you have to change is you have to, in the calls you create, you have to change the type from signer to approver. For example, you also have the receiver, but in this case, it's approver. If you change the type here, the person who you have here as a stakeholder will be an approver for that document. Instead of having to do a lot of different things to be able to manage to upload them via API, we can just do it this way. It's a small snapshot, a small screenshot to show you how it's done, but to be honest, it's best that you just read the documentation. It's explained very clearly and everything should be fine. Of course, if you have any questions, you can also contact any of us. I would say let's move on to the next slide and see what the future brings. As you can see, what to expect in 2020, a sneak peek of the upcoming eSignature releases. We have a few releases planned. We have a major release planned, 6.0 in April. What will 6.0 bring of new functionalities? Of course, the single sign-on will be introduced in 6.0. This is a big one for us, and I think for every client, it will give you the ability to log in with one single user across all our different applications related to eSignatures. It will be a gradual rollout, so not all of our applications, not all of our product application inside the eSignature product stack will be having SSO from the beginning, but of course it will be rolled out to all of them in the coming releases. We will also release Sign It software, Sign ID, sorry. This is actually the replacement of our connective browser package. We had a connective browser package for every browser. Updates are always very hard to do as we had to roll out new versions. Sign ID will replace this, and it will be easy to integrate new ways of placing signatures. For example, smart cards or others. It will be a soft update instead of a hard update, so no new release needed. Users will just be updated in the back. It will just be upgraded in the background, so users won't even notice and things are changing. We also, of course, with the major version, have to release a new API. For the API, we try to design it as future-proof possible, while still maintaining the principles of not changing too much for our customers, otherwise the implementation has to be done again, and this will introduce a lot of extra work. So we are aware and we try to make it, of course, as easy as possible for you. In 6.0, we will introduce a new design. The new design is actually here because, of course, we're in an ever-changing world. We're not standing still, and of course, eSignatures is also not standing still. We want to evolve into a more or even more user-friendly application. With the new redesign, we will focus on the user experience and make sure everything is easy to use, and of course, fun to complete, uploading documents and signing everything. We'll be introducing forms. Forms will give you the ability to add checkboxes and input fields in documents which are already uploaded. For example, if you don't know somebody's middle name, you can still change it while the document is already uploaded in the portal, instead of having to upload everything again if, for example, the name is wrong or something is not correct. We will also introduce the reject of one document in a package. Right now, if you reject a document, the whole package or all documents in the package are rejected. Of course, this is a bit unnecessary. If you only need one document to be rejected, you will be able to do this in 6.0, and you can still complete the rest of the package. I think this will be the main features. Of course, there will be more, but I don't think it's necessary to already explain them right now. We'll go to the next slide.
So we want to emphasize once more, if in case you had questions after this webinar or while using the new version, please consult our documentation website. It's very user-friendly. You can simply just always type in a search word in the search section. We added a link for your convenience. In case it's not that easy for you to find, or you still have some questions, or there are some issues, you can always send an email to the service or create a ticket on the support sites. So thank you so much. We are really happy that you attended our first webinar of 2020. We will make sure to do this with every new release. And if you have any questions, you are free to ask them right now. So you can just type in your question in the chat and we can answer them now. I have a question. If the features are automatically enabled, or do you have to make a request? Yeah, you have to request for us to enable the features in the configuration.
Yes, indeed. It's a setting that has to be be set by the administrator of indeed configuration.
Yeah.
Then you will get the option. It's a checkbox while uploading the document, as you've seen in the demo movie, where you can actually say, I want to enable reassign on this package.
Yes. Okay, so I hope that was clear. Then we have another question. If there's a limit to the approvers or reassigners, at this moment there is no clear limits.
No, there's no limits, but we are introducing a way of seeing in the what you see, so to sign, so where you sign a document, so you can follow who already approved or who already reassigned to who, to be able to see what's actually already done before you got the documents, as you could just, the document could just arrive in your mailbox and you didn't know why. You can also see the reason, of course, in your mail, why it's assigned or why it's reassigned to you. Maybe go to another question here.
I see that somebody had a question concerning signing with It's Me. It is already available for a long time, since June. So you can send me an email and I will send you the necessary information to activate It's Me on your platform.
Maybe to answer a question about the translations. You will be able to set, or let your administrator set, a default translation or default language for all your items in the portal, and what you see is what you sign. Of course, as every user has his own language set, you will see this. We will be using the default translation, for example, for fallback purposes. If you upload a document and you, for example, forget to add an error message, you will see this in the default language. For example, English. If you would set English as default language, the error message would be shown in English. We'll check for a new question. It's going quite fast, so we should scroll up a little bit.
Yes.
So do the checkboxes in 6.1 comply with the AIDAS? Because the signed document is different from the document which is uploaded. Yes, this will of course apply. It's also only for the approvers and the first signer who will be able to do this. Afterwards, you won't be able to change anything anymore. Otherwise, indeed, the document would become invalid, as a signature was already placed on it.
I have another question. Once the document is signed, the signers are receiving a notification email with download link once everyone has signed. The originator of the signing process, however, does not get a notification email. So he doesn't know when everyone has signed unless he logs in.
Normally, you can, yeah, of course, you can say, you can add receivers, and you could add yourself as a receiver to make sure you can see this.
To be honest, when I send out a document, I always add myself. Mm-hmm. But I do know that it is a reoccurring question that is taken into account. But at this moment, I would, yeah, give the advice to just add the originator as well.
Yeah, so add the initiator or the originator as a receiver, and then you will be notified when everything is finished. We know it's a bit of a limitation, but of course we're looking into solving this as soon as possible. So we're having some more questions. Let's pick one here. Bonjour, it's not really a question, so we'll skip this one.
So I have a question. If the approver needs to validate the document before the signature can be placed. So indeed, the first step is to approve the document. So the person who is invited to sign the document will not receive an email until the document is approved. So they will not be aware of the document until it's first approved. So it's really in steps.
So for example, if the approver doesn't approve the document, the signer will not receive it anyway. So then the initiator has to, of course, upload it again and make the changes that the approver requested.
I also have a question of a lawyer. If I understand correctly, you should be the last one to sign off the document before it can be downloaded. So there I would advise to use the complex signing process. So you can just let the people who should be responsible for signing the document sign first, and you should be the last one for signing the documents. I don't know if I understood correctly your question. If not, you can always send me an email so I can further explain. Okay, so
let's maybe answer one more question. Let's pick one. Should we take this one?
Yeah.
So the redesigns, they will be implemented gradually also to make sure the whole interface or the whole application is not changing like instantly. We will give the option to preview the new design, and of course the new design will be released in steps. For example, we'll tackle what you see is what you sign first, as this is what most people see. Every signer, approver, and every other actor in the portal can, of course, see what you see is what you sign. We will make it future-proof, so all mobiles, laptops, desktops, tablets, and everything else you can use to sign will be, or what you see, what you sign will work the best way possible.
Yes, indeed. And then we have some questions concerning the notifications. So we have been talking about Notification Hub for a while now. Emails are currently still sent by default of Connected, but it will be possible to send out notifications not only by email in the future.
You'll be able to customize also SMS, mail, all the others, and it will be released, or a first version of the Notification Hub will be released with 6.0 too. It's not added in the slides, but I can tell you it will be with 6.0, so our next major release.
Because it's not fully clear yet how it will look like, so we prefer to share information when we have a more clear view, but we can already tell you that the first steps of personalizing the email communication will be included in 6.0.
So I also see a lot of questions regarding the API. API v3 will still be supported, of course. V2 will be phased out, but v3 will be supported while v4 is actively in use. So don't worry, we will not disable the v3 features anytime soon.
All right. So unfortunately, we will have to conclude this webinar. We promised to send you all the documentation, the video of the webinar, and the questions answered afterwards. If we did not have time to answer your question, I'm very sorry. But again, please do not hesitate to send us an email or contact me. I'm more than happy to have a quick call with you. So thank you so much again for participating, and we hope you will also attend our next webinars. We hope this was a little bit informational for you, and yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.